Good morning and welcome to Travels with Monkey Boy. Today we're taking just a couple of day trip to Abu Dhabi. So let me tell you the story, show you the map and some pictures. I've seen a number of posts in social media over the last few months showing people traveling on airplanes in the past, in the 50s and 60s. Men were in suits and ties, women wore pearls. The posts were suggesting what has gone wrong with our world. People now wear sweatpants to travel. Nothing's gone wrong with the world. When I was a kid, people wore suits to travel because the only people that could afford to fly were the wealthy, and that nostalgic look back is really just classism. Today, I got on an international flight, flew 500 plus miles in an hour and a half, was fed a passable meal, and it cost me $40. This is a world of miracles we live in. We flew to a country that didn't exist when I was a kid. In fact, when I was 10, they still weren't a country. They were part of the British Empire. They were called the Trucial states. And in 1961, the entire population of this country was less than the city of Green Bay, less than 100,000 people. Yet they had the sixth most oil in the world and the third most natural gas. Qatar was a part of the protectorate at the time. This area consisted of seven little kingdoms ruled by a king, or emir, as they called them here. Really just a bunch of tiny tribes. For some reason, Britain decided to get rid of tens of trillions of dollars of natural resources in perhaps the easiest area to manage in the world in 1971. And the seven emirs got together and created the United, questionable, Arab, 80% of the population are expats, mostly Indian, Emirates. Of the little kingdoms, Abu Dhabi had 2/3 of the population and 95% of the oil. So for most of the next 20 years, they dominated the country. The second largest kingdom was basically a little fishing village with a bit of oil called Dubai. It was in the early 90s that the king of Dubai, yes, all the little kingdoms still have their own emirs, thought, with Lebanon no longer safe for the rich Arabs to go on holiday, let's create a huge shopping mall where our country used to exist. They built and they advertised and they built and they advertised. They created a series of islands, indoor ski hills, the world's tallest building, and 30 years later, through the power of marketing, Dubai has 5 times the population of Abu Dhabi, and all Westerners know it, and it's become a major world vacation hub. Of course, Abu Dhabi still has the oil, but now they have something else, an inferiority complex, and a lot of money to throw at fixing the problems. So we're going to visit and see how they are doing. Okay, so let me share with you the map. Here we go. And if you remember, here's our home back in Green Bay. And here's our home in Kuwait. Right here. And it costs $20 round trip to go to over here, Abu Dhabi. And as I mentioned, the Trucial states, that's Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Sharjah, Qatar was part of it. And this little area that was really surrounded by desert and by the Persian Gulf. It would have been so easy for the British just to say, hey, this is like the Falkland Islands. This is ours forever. And control tens of trillions of dollars worth of petroleum resources and natural gas. But they decided to give it up. And let me show you the pictures. We entered Abu Dhabi through the tolerance path, and we went down the escalator of intolerance to reach our taxi of indifference. We stayed here. This is the Andaz Gate Hotel. This hotel is a plaque from the Guinness Book of World Records proclaiming it the building that leads the most. Curious thing to be proud of. We got mojitos and sat by the pool on the 19th floor overlooking the city. First alcohol in 5 months. It was 80 degrees outside and sunny. Back home, they were shoveling. Tub with a view of the city. You tell me which end is the one you're supposed to lay your head on. I thought left side, but I think I was wrong. And that's it. Thanks for stopping by today. I have another short one for you tomorrow.